birthday. Let's blow out all the candles. Yeah, we could get romantic. As long as I'm with you, babe. Let's throw a party. Just us in my apartment. Yeah, back to
Welcome. This is the Simply King podcast, and it's your boy Rodney Perry, King himself, and you just tuned into the Soulfully Conscious podcast for humans, simply being humans. And today is a special one. It's a very, very special one. You know, you have people who are your, day ones, you know what I'm saying, who was there on your first day out. Well, this is somebody for me and to me. They was there when I was still in the bid. You know what I'm saying? They was there before the first day. I ain't never been to jail, but it's a good reference, and it means a lot to me to put it on that thick. You feel me? I have great personal friend and, supporter of the podcast, friend of the pod, friend of life, friend in life, sister in life. I have Jenese Brewer here with me, who is a playlistista. Is that the best way to playlist aficionado? Former music artist manager. I'm not sure if you're gonna ever put your shoes or put that hat on ever again. And connoisseur of a lot of the finer things. She's certainly my voice of reason and a person I lean on for so many things. So I was like, I gotta bring her on. I definitely want to make sure I utilize something that not only did she take some of her own time to study back in the Disney, but still spends a lot of energy talking and consuming music. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling, sis?
It's good. It's a beautiful day in Oakland, like I was telling you.
Oaktown, yeah. Matter of fact, 40 Water just gave you another album. 40 Water.
It's good.
It's decent.
Opinion. I was say I don't know about everybody else, but that's my uncle. So
yeah, that joint decent. I really want to try them lumpias that he was talking about on the Breakfast Club.
God.
He made them sound good, and then the little dude.
But it's also normal out here.
I mean, I don't know.
Come through.
I gotta come through. It's the he had a little dude with him. I think his name was Neff or something like that.
Neff the Pharaoh.
I think so. He's short with locks and facial tattoos.
I think he has a couple, but you probably know one of his songs. You remember that song, "Bitch I'm Big Timing"? Bitch I'm Big Timing. You remember the song?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so it was when you get done, I'll send you the song.
Yeah, send me some Neff. He seemed cool. He seemed pretty decent. And he was just talking about his album and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it was a good interview. Great interview. But first, let's start with the Twitter check.
I would like to.
All right.
Okay.
I'm checking in the Twitter. A lot of shit happened on Twitter. So it was a lot of things to choose from, truthfully, because it's forever something going viral. It's forever just things happening. So what I had to say to myself was what is the best thing to bring to Jenese when it comes to this Twitter check-in shit, right? And I thought about something that occurred. Two things occurred. You have a few weeks ago or last week or whatever, what was it, the 19th? There is an album that dropped that literally, ironically, is called The Gift, which I find to be Beyonce trolling the shit out of the Beehive and the rest of the world. Here you are. I can only imagine what it was like to negotiate that deal to get actual lines and words from the movie into the album, and that's a lot.
She had to do that one interview. That's what she had.
They was you got to talk to us one. You got to talk to the people one time.
When's the last time you seen something that Beyonce didn't release herself where she was interviewed? Give me an answer. Exactly. Drink your water.
That woman got so much leverage. It's ridiculous. I swear. But I digress. She put out a song that she also accompanied with a challenge, or maybe people made the challenge up and just whatever. I feel like she started that, though. I feel like she initiated, or she at least allows it. The Brown Skin Girl Challenge, right?
Yes.
Immediately it was, because, immediately it was kind of received in so many different ways. We're black. We're, dismantling so many different things that we're discovering, being such as, colorism and things like that. Beyonce certainly has been a person who has been always seen as would she be there if she was brown skinned? I think it's definitely a constant thing against her. Like,
Yeah.
she works hard, she does all what she does and all these different things, but I think she certainly, stepped into her pro-blackness into a whole new level and a whole new way. And I think it was a good timing to do something like this. So my initial reaction, I'm gonna say it like this.
Talk me through it.
My initial reaction was like, okay, this is dope. I like this. I'm for this. I'm all about praising women in all different types of ways and all different shades, all different sizes, in any type of way. That is my program. That has been about my business. Henceforth, why I think it was Monday, Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday, I put out a question talking about like, what was y'all reaction to that? Really didn't. I usually get at least a few responses for when I ask questions on my story on IG. That day, I got nothing. But I got one. I got one from Rose. Shout out to Rose. And she gave me a long thing. Like, I can't even it was kind of long, but she broke down like why she don't understand why people were feeling, so many ways about it. And that same day, I also listened to a podcast that was called Tea with Queen and Jay, which I enjoy their podcast. It's essentially about, it's a very like woke podcast that they're both womanist. They're always kind of like talking about the, things that are occurring or things that need to be kind of addressed within, current events and things like that. Giving this, very kind of like womanist, very specific angle to it. Right. So I'm listening to this. Right. Okay. And they break down so one of the guests is brown skin, probably like dark skin. The other one is like really, really fair. Right. Okay. So the brown skin host, Queen, breaks down why she had a different reaction to this song than possibly most people. Because a lot of people just got with it. Lupita shouting it out. Everybody loving it. So she says that she does not see this as a praise. She doesn't see this as something that's like, something that she feels like they have to do. Because she feels like it's like patronizing in a way. Because she said essentially like, you're telling us that we're beautiful and this, that, and the third, as if that's something that we need validation from, other women who are not a part of that specific group or who don't have that aesthetic. Like, we need that a validation. Like, we need you to say that. And it almost was on the lines of how a lot of black people say what we say to white people when it comes to the work or the things that need to be done. It's like, don't hand out certain just generosities or certain, pleasantries. Talk to other people who are perpetuating the thing that's like bad for us. That's like not good. And I guess for me, I couldn't immediately agree with it, but also I'm a man. So I was like, I just got to marinate on this. But my whole thing was like, damn, I'm confused now. Right. Because it's like, I literally just, after asking that question, I literally posted every single woman that I had ever had on my show that was a brown skinned woman on my story, thinking that I'm like, joining in the challenge, I'm like, yeah, I'm with it. I've been about it. This go back years. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And so I'm like, okay, cool. That's what it is. Right. But I was so confused about it though. Cause I was like, I get why we say it to white people and anybody outside of the race and things like that, because it is something that they not only benefit from, but it's not something, yes, and it's something that they didn't quote unquote create, but they perpetuate. And on this hand though, I guess for me, it's like, these are still black women we talking about. And those black women who just so happen to be fair did not create this system of colorism, but they're responsible in dismantling the thing that affects the people who are probably the most marginalized or the victim of.
So are you referring to just how we say, like, if you're going to be an ally of black people, like, go ahead and help us, like, do your part. Like, you want to be a part of this fight with us. Like,
fight this fight with us, but you got to, the biggest thing that you need to do is like talk laterally and not talk to us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I just didn't know how to take that. And I was like, I got to really marinate on this. And I was like, I wanted to know what you thought about it and what you thought about the reactions of all the things and like just how that feels and what that is like, because there's some people who are under the impression that they were being spoken to. It's like a lot of fair skinned women who were like, oh, I didn't think she wasn't talking to me.
I definitely, okay, I don't, first, just let me talk about myself. I don't believe that I'm light skinned, but I've been told I am.
Wow.
I think I'm in the middle.
Yeah, it's light brown is a thing. Light brown is a thing.
But
when you brown, it starts to like, When
I heard I have multiple feelings about the song. When I first heard the song, though, I thought it was beautiful. I think that it was great. I think that it was a way to just highlight like women that are of a darker tone in general. Yeah. And so I didn't take from it too much, and it didn't really impact me as much. I'll say that much. I thought that it wasn't a song for me. I thought it was a song for my peers who had more melanin in their skin.
Yeah.
At the same time, I also seen a lot, like you were saying, a lot of celebrities praise it. I don't know if you know who Ashley Blaine Featherston is. She's on Dear White People. She plays Joelle.
She plays Joelle. Her name is... Yes, yeah.
She said that she broke down crying listening to the song, because she felt like she was speaking to her and really just highlighting like her beauty and her greatness. And I don't really think, this is my thing, I don't believe that anybody really wants to sit there and just do it for the craze, do it for fun. But I will say that like Beyonce's really been on her black shit lately. Like, and I think that's just it. Like she wants to highlight Black women and Black people and her culture. And that also involves those who may not be highlighted as much. Because when we discuss Black people, or when you see them showcase Black people, it's usually people who are probably lighter than me. They probably look a little ambiguous. So for her to have done that, I think it was just her putting her foot forward, saying, "Hey, everybody is beautiful, but this is where I want to highlight it at." And she was very particular about the women that she highlighted during that song.
She was.
And there was a level of melanin that she was referring to.
She was.
But I don't think that she was patronizing anybody, and that's just my opinion. I think that it was a beautiful song. I think that I will say I am appalled about the people who responded negatively to it, who were light skinned.
Yes.
You saw that light skinned girl? Oh.
Yes.
It literally made it just made my skin crawl, because I'm just like, first off, if you wanted that song to be for you, it still could be. You could be lighter and still braid your braids, girl. Like, if that's what you wanted to do, your skin can still look like pearls. Like, that's fine. But for you to sit here and try and make it like there's enough shine. Like, let people have their time. But for you to sit here and be divisive and divide yourself like that was personally disgusting.
It was.
But going back to darker women who may have felt like the song wasn't for them, or that the song was trying to play them out versus praising them and just highlighting them for who they are, I feel bad that that's how they feel. I can't necessarily say the same because I'm not of a darker melanin tone, but I would hope that it would be taken more as like, you know what, Beyonce having the platform that she has, highlighting the tone of melanin that she did, I think that's awesome, because not a lot of people highlight darker Black women, and I think that we should. And not even darker Black women, just darker women in general. There's darker Indian people. There's darker, and yell at me if you want to after this, but darker like Hispanic people. Like there's a lot of people who are darker than me, Dominicans, all kinds of stuff. Like, but for you to be highlighted, I think that's beautiful. And that's just me. That was my take on it. I thought that it was bomb. I thought it was a cute little song to just be thankful for who you are and what you are. I only took it with a grain of salt, though. But I am disappointed of my sisters who are lighter, who thought that it would be cute to do their rendition of their light-skinned girl version. Like, girl, sit down. Let everybody have this.
Now that's something I can say something about, because I feel like the thing that they got to understand is that shit is based in something that has nothing to do with them.
Hello?
And when I say that, it's outside of you. You are the product. Colorism is the product of being close to whiteness. So it's not. You shouldn't see it. You shouldn't. One, it's nasty as hell that you see yourself as better than, or see yourself as being whatever, because that's what you're projecting to everybody. But you got to understand how this shit is inherently a thing that you cannot beat. You're only going to beat other black women in this quote unquote race to colorism. Because if there's a white woman in your presence, she gonna trump you in this whole thing that you think that you're trying to project and put out. So if you down them and demean them, you're only doing the same thing that broke white people do, that people who are disenfranchised or a part of a privileged group, but just so happen you in the same boat as us. You in the same situation. Like you're still a marginalized individual, but just because you can have this one little one up, and that's the one thing that you hold so like dear to you, and all those things, because it does not matter that much. It never mattered that much.
And unfortunately, some women were raised to believe that they are, and that's all they can bring to the world. And I mean, there's varied quotes where men have said that, you know, they would rather take a busted light-skinned woman versus like a beautiful, like just 10 out of 10 would recommend darker woman. Because she's lighter, which is beyond me. But to bring it back to the song, I think that the song was beautiful. I don't think that she had I cannot speak for her. I do not know her, obviously, but I don't think she had any ill intention. And then of course Beyonce's been on her black shit lately, so that's what you gonna get.
Yeah. And I think because I was talking to Destiny about it, my girl, and she was saying, because I brought it to her and she immediately got like upset about it. And she literally, because it was just like, damn, like, why she take it? Like, when I told her about what I just said to you about the podcast, she was immediately like, this type of way. And she was trying to like catch herself, because she was just like, I can't tell a woman how to feel about something, especially a woman that's like, you know, that is brown skin or whatever. But she was just like, I just feel like that's not what it is. That's like not what she meant, or not. Like, you know, it can be a different way, it can be whatever, but it's like, what did you want her to do? Like, what is the way to do that? What is the best way to do that? Because somebody needs to do something. Somebody should do something. Yeah. And it's like, she has the biggest platform in the world, and and then she ended it just by saying, she was like, it's for the kids. She was like, I took it as it's something that's really for the children too. Yeah. She like, she had Blue on here, and you see all these kids are the ones who are reacting to it a lot as well. Yeah. Like, it's a lot of grown folks who feel some type of way, you know. I forgot her real name. What's her real name? Jolene?
Oh, Ashley. No, Ashley. That's her character, Ashley. Blaine Featherston.
Yeah, Ashley. So, the fact that it made her feel so good. Lupita, you know, felt really good. All these people felt the messaging, you know what I'm saying, and understood exactly what it was. And I see that, to me, she felt that way, but I genuinely believe it's like a culmination of just probably her own experience. She probably grew up being affirmed of what her skin looks like, and she just doesn't feel like you got to do that, because it's like, you acting like I don't know that I am, or you need to tell me that I am to make me know that I am. And it's like, I don't think that's the impression, and I don't think that we need to treat it as when white people misstep or overstep their bounds doing something that they think is charity or think is that, when it's really patronizing as hell.
Right.
Because it's like, this is a black woman who had the right intentions and thought she was doing the right thing. And also, I can only imagine that because she had so many brown skinned women around and probably on her exact team, when this whole ideal came out, then nobody disagreed. You know, it's Beyonce, so who gonna disagree with Beyonce? I don't know how the hell Beyonce can have some you know, some no men in there. You know, I hope she does. I believe she can pay for them too. She can pay for some no men. Like, look, I tell you no, B, for, you know, a good price.
But I will say, at minimum, it's a great step in the right direction, and it can also open the doors for other people to move forward, highlighting the greatness of black women who may be darker, or just black women in general, and just pushing it towards that direction, whatever that looks like, however that is. And hopefully somebody's been inspired by that and comes out with something.
I agree. I think this. Let's move on. I think that's good. I'm glad you said that, because I definitely wanted to lay that down on somebody, because I thought that was just interesting. I would like to. But to keep it on music, the topic, the convo is about the kind of like the state of music and kind of how you consuming music. Because I feel like there are consumers who are just kind of like more lazier, just kind of like you just give me whatever is out there, or they just only kind of know the mainstream. There's people who try their best to try to, you know, find their specific vibes. They kind of stay in their genre and they just go with whatever they go, and it goes as deep as they want. Then you have people like yourself that goes everywhere. You do listen to the suggestions that if they give you a related track, they're also on track, or a suggested playlist because of, or whatever it may be. So because of that, I had to have you on to talk about the things. But no, so first I want to talk about playlists, because you make a lot of them, right? And because I feel like the playlist has now kind of regained its significance within like just popular culture and music culture. Because of streaming, I feel like because of streaming, it's made it now this vehicle for the success of whatever music or whatever it is that you're putting out, because you can make it to certain playlists that are just forever on certain, you know, DSPs, or if you just so happen to just make it on a celebrity playlist or a influencers playlist, whatever it may be, that shit literally does help your shit. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to know, like, I guess, what do you believe is the power of kind of like playlisting and playlist, and how have you noticed artists utilizing that in any way?
I will say first that playlist plays a huge part, especially like going back to what you were saying when it comes to so many things dropping at one time. Like I was looking at all the music that dropped this Friday, and I'm just like, how am I gonna, like, where am I gonna start? What's to happen? But I think it helps for those lazy people, and then it also helps just like kind of reaffirm to those who may not know, or who may need like that, you know, cosign, if that makes sense. So I do, and this is like not to toot my own horn, but I do have people who literally ask me like, what did you think about so-and-so's project? Or like, I know you listen to such and such, what you thinking? And I think that plays a lot into why a lot of people end up making playlists, like tastemakers. They're all, I think most people who make playlists are some version of a tastemaker. Like, I'm interested, you know, my palette is all consuming, and I'm interested in high and low beats. I'm interested in different kind of vibes based off of my energy, or based off of my, you know, my mood for the day. So that's kind of how I curate my stuff, or just stuff that's constantly repeating. So I think it helps when it comes to the lazier consumer who's just like, all right, give me what's hot. Let me see what playlist, you know, what's
I want to stay up to date.
Right. Like I want the latest and the greatest. I know Apple Music and Tidal and Spotify is all really good for putting out like the breaking new artists, or like the latest hits, top 100, you know what I mean? So like, really, if you want to stay on trend, I absolutely think that makes such a big difference. I'm trying to see what else can I say about that. But when it comes to playlists, I think it also comes into like, what do you think is going to fit you best? But what was the other question that you had for me? Because I was saying,
how have you noticed artists utilizing playlists?
Let me tell you. This is my conspiracy theory.
Yes.
So I'm about 100% sure that most artists end up just putting their label mates. And consider that Atlantic is one of the biggest labels. They got some players up
there. They winning this shit right now.
I was about to say, but I think what happens is that with, you know, like with different phrases and themes going on, for instance, this hot girl summer, hot boy summer situation. Let's shout out the last lukewarm summer with Taylor Crenshaw. Check that out. You know what I'm saying? Check that out. But with that coming out, I don't know if you saw even, and I guess kind of playing back into Twitter, that Future came out with a Hot Boy Summer
for Spotify.
And I was dead.
Which was clever marketing. It was like, even though it's a troll, it's like, this troll gonna make money.
It is. And then on top of that, also what makes it fun is because you get to supposedly hear what your favorite artist listens to, right? So it's like, okay, like, you know, I wonder, like, you know, I love Future, but I wonder what makes Future rock, like, you know what I mean, like, what makes him shake, like, what, like, when he riding in the car, what he blasting, like, so for you to be able to have that access, I think it just also plays into like consumerism and like being closer to your artists and things of that sort.
That's
like
smart.
Even for for like Megan Thee Stallion. I think she's dropping her new song, Hot Girl Summer, on the 2nd.
Oh, it's going to be a song?
It's going to be a song and a playlist.
Okay. I didn't know if it was going to be an album or not.
No. She said she's working anyway. We'll get. Because
I was like, damn, she about to give us an album, or because people was like speculating that.
She was on live with Nicki Minaj talking about it though.
I peeped.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, but she said she was just working on it, but she's dropping the song. She says right now it's only Ty Dolla $ign on the song, but it's her and Ty Dolla $ign on the Hot Girl Summer song, and then she's dropping a playlist with Apple Music. If she hasn't already, but I believe she hasn't.
Okay.
And
I think she
that'll be
did.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
But her being a super relatable artist, being super relevant, I definitely want to hear what she knocking. Like, I definitely want to hear what she playing. So I feel like when it comes to like artists being able to use playlists for themselves, one, I think it makes you closer to the artist, or it makes you feel like you're closer to the artist because you're listening to what you would perceive to be their likes, their favorites. But also, plugging yourself in doesn't hurt none either, and it also helps with streaming numbers. So playing with that as well, like, if you put 1-2 songs, you good to go, especially if it's like a repeatable playlist. Like, I know there's a couple of artist playlists that I still have that haven't been edited since maybe like a couple years ago, and I'll still play that bad boy, and I'll still play the 2 songs they dropped on there, and all that does is help with the streaming sales, because of course, like, I guess like playing into like analytics and streaming costs and things of that sort. If you put out a single and that single goes up to a certain extent, if you put that same single onto your project, it's automatically going to boost that album possibly into a status already. So whether it be gold, platinum, I don't think I've ever seen anybody go into diamond off of a single. Even though I think Lil Nas X might be on that.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, I think that it definitely helps. So for you to be able to plug that in will assist with your numbers, will assist with your sales, ultimately assist with your pay. So
true.
There's that on that.
You know what I imagine? I haven't listened to the Hot Boy Summer one because I just feel like it's gonna be mad ignorant. I imagine that the playlist. Do you follow Desi Banks on Instagram?
I feel like I did.
He's the one who be doing videos with B Simone in the car.
First off, I love him. Okay,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I love him.
The music that he plays,
I love him. He ignorant as
the music that he plays whenever he's doing hood dudes doing this, hood dudes do this. Yeah, that's what I imagine the Hot Boy Summer playlist by Future to sound like. He was like, "Hey, Parlay, you okay? Like, all right, cool. I imagine that's what it sounds like, but I digress. I think playlists are interesting as hell. I love hearing, people within the industry talk about playlisting and how it's now become, one of those things that people talk about along with charting, along with sales and things like that. Like, literally, are you getting on the placement on these, on the landing pages of these, on these like streaming sites and these streaming platforms? Right. Are you going to be on these specific playlists? It's like now it's territory that people are striving for as artists. And I think streaming has done something really interesting to the industry as a whole.
Oh, yes.
I feel like it made it into more of kind of like the Wild Wild West, because there's this kind of like, there's now new unknowns. Like, there was already a lot of unknowns when it came to just the music industry as a whole and just the music business, because you were trying to figure out, like I had the episode that I had with Nassan. He had came on and he was just talking about his own experiences and just talking about his perspective on just the music business. And he said something that was really deep. And he was just talking about like the difference between talent and, that star power. Yeah. And I feel like so many people have to battle and deal with those different things and so they really want every single thing that can literally give them some type of leverage and like push them on to doing whatever they're going to do. I do think it plays a lot on when it comes to consuming music. Because like you just said, a lot of shit came out. Last year, I feel like, I'm surprised he won a damn record for how much music came out just in 2018 alone. I swear it felt like every Friday of the whole damn year, there was like multiple projects coming out. It's people who shit I probably still ain't got to that I said I was going to get to right now. You know what I'm saying? Just because, and then this year with the whole, I feel like Nipsey passing was like kind of put a stop and a hold on everybody's music.
It sure the hell did.
Because I swear it was dry for like a good few months.
What you gonna listen to?
Yeah.
Ocean views.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it was good and dry. Like, everybody was just like, you know what, let's just take the spring off and just get ready for, late spring to summer. Because I feel like that was when a lot of things started to come back out.
Yeah.
And like really hit and really just go the fuck up. And I don't know. I guess to me, what I want to know about when it comes to the question I have for you when it comes to consuming music, right?
Yeah.
Is there is something that I always kind of find interesting when it comes to people within the industry. And they have this, like, I think everybody always has this assumption that music gets worse. The older we are, the music gets worse that's out right now, right? That's what people try to push. It's like, y'all ain't listening to what we had back in the day and so on and so forth.
Don't be a grandma, y'all. Don't be a grandma.
Yeah, don't be a grandma. And I think for me, people like yourself are extremely good at really finding those, beautiful things of today, of yesterday, that those sleepers, And I always wonder, like, I guess kind of like how you go about kind of like finding these sleepers and kind of pushing these sleepers to other people, like, for instance, with Chastity, you just post Chastity, you know what I'm saying? Great little post, you know what I'm saying? It got me. It hooked me. But I do think there is something about kind of like people complaining about music, but I do believe that people just aren't doing the work to find the music. And I would love to know what you feel about those kind of like assumptions being made and like how people should just change those things if they really wanted those things to be different.
For sure. I will say, quick plug for my homegirl. Be sure to listen to Chastity, Not My Time. It's considered gospel Christian, but like it's a vibe. So listen.
Yeah, it's great.
But when it comes to like consuming the music and listening to it, I mean, obviously your bigger artists are gonna get that marketing right. Like they're gonna be in your face. That's not a question. I think being able to find people who are a little bit off the grid or not necessarily like the most popular, it is gonna take some time. Like you're
it's
not gonna
talent.
find.
That's a talent. Like being ahead of shit. Like anytime you were the person that you knew Kendrick before everybody knew Kendrick. You knew such and such. You was listening to such and such deep into their shit. Like that shit is a talent, But yeah, go ahead.
I would like to say that I think I started doing this when I was super young, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was a weird formula to it even when I was younger, even though I think it was a little more accessible. But, like, when we had, like, LimeWire.
Yeah.
Like, when we had, like, YouTube, and then it would jump to somebody's random song, MySpace, things of that sort. I think I kind of just, like, let that stick with me. You know what I mean? So I, like, let myself wander. I listen to the Pandoras. I jump into, like, I look on Twitter and Instagram. I actually have people who send me stuff and will be like, you should check this out. And it'll just kind of like lead me into more things. But I think you really have to just know what you like. Like you have to be certain in what you care for, what you want to hear. And when it comes to like the music that's like too young or like they're not doing it the same, I want to say that when it comes to like pop and rap and hip hop right now, I think a lot of it is just what's repetitive, if that makes sense. Yeah. If you have the same 4 lines for like 2-3 minutes, you already got a hit. Like if you have that much of a hook in your music and you just keep doing that same thing, obviously you're going to be popular, especially with the younger kids now, because their attention span isn't necessarily there. And I will say that sometimes the grandparents are right. I mean, you have to consider they had songs that were like 7 minutes long.
Exactly.
Okay, we now have songs that I think I literally saw a song that was like a minute and like 30-ish seconds. Yeah. And after that, everybody's like, all right, cool. Next. Like, and so you have to really have just an attention span for what people are saying and what's going on, and not necessarily being so short-minded about things. And I think that's my big thing. I don't think I have some crazy like concept on how I find music. I literally just play stuff, or I'll throw on a playlist, or I'll throw, like, speaking of, or I'll even throw on Pandora. Pandora is really good for it. I don't even know how many people use Pandora anymore.
Yeah. I feel like they got bought out by somebody. I feel like somebody bought them.
I didn't hear that.
I think somebody bought Pandora. I can't remember. They might have just kept it as, we ain't gonna change nothing. But
I didn't hear anything about an acquired look. Now I gotta look into that.
Yeah, look into that. I may be wrong, but I feel like somebody merged or did something with Pandora.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think if you like, even if if you're a big TV person and you notice that there's like a song in the background that you really like, I mean, there's a lot of different. There's Genius. I know when we were younger, it was like AZ lyrics, stuff like that.
That's real.
But if you hear like a
AZ
line,
lyrics.
like if you hear like a line or something and you like really like what it's sounding like, and usually production is what people end up being attracted to first.
Yeah.
If you hear something, like look up that lyric and play the song. Like I'm really good for doing that. Like if I hear a song in the middle of a movie, I'll be like,
you know what? You know what? You just made me think about something. When I was listening to that Chance album at the gym early today.
Yeah.
I remember I used to be so upset about this. I can't remember who the fuck started doing this. I feel like it might have been Kanye. I think Kanye might not have started it, but I feel like he popularized. I'm gonna say that.
What,
and that's
sampling?
That's putting out an album and not having no this is the name of the song featured such and such and this and that. Like it's just no name, no features like listed. And on the big day, there's nobody's name next to nothing.
I love it.
And Travis Scott's album was like that. Damn near almost everybody's album be like that, almost like coming out, unless they usually if they're like newer artists, I feel like they'll give it to you, give you those little bylines. But that's they give you those bylines, and like the Dreamville Project had to. You had to give us something. Fuck that. There's too many fucking people. But even still, it makes you do work with the music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think that goes into consuming it. Because like I hear people who come from a older way of thinking, they remember physical copies. They remember getting the book and like reading through the book, knowing who these producers are, knowing those certain things. And I think that brought a different value to the project, even if you didn't like it, even if it was just okay, even if it's just a few songs on there that you're going to play. It still brought a different appreciation to just consuming music as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought that album. I might go back and listen to a few other, whatevers. But, it is what it is. You don't feel bad about what you just did because you put this work in. You feel like you earned it, and there it is. And then for the joints that you really love and you done really did all the work, you know who wrote it, you know who's writers on it, guitarist, and this, that, and the third. It brings this different feeling and value to the music. And I think I love that people are doing it because with the big ass with Big Day. Oh, I say big ass day. The Big Day.
Horrible.
Oh, that's terrible. For me, it definitely made me have to work. I had to go and Google. I was like, I'm over here on the damn bench press. Like, who is this? Knox Fortune? Oh, that's Shawn Mendes. I was like really having to work because I'm like, this is interesting. Yeah. But I do think like I do want to know kind of like what you feel about because I think we're at an interesting place now. Like you had the XXL cover that just came out and whatnot, right? It was, and then you got the freestyles that, just got released too, right? Right. So for me, I feel like I hear what Nassan said. Nassan said that, it's some people who are going to be out here in this world who are talented as fuck and never really get their shot just because they don't have whatever that star quality or this markability or just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get that. Sometimes I understand that so much, but sometimes I just feel like people haven't even tried to like work with these people and give them a shot because it's like, oh, it's this lesbian woman who sings about love, but people really don't understand it. And she has this real sultry voice, but she's like, masculine presenting. People don't know what to do with her, Like people always try to make excuses for things that they just haven't seen or there haven't been so many examples for.
Because they don't know how to box them.
Yeah. And I think music is starting to lose its box more and more every day.
It should.
And
it's no one way to articulate what's going on. Like the moment, it's almost like putting on a mask, right? And I think we talked about this like kind of as a one-off multiple times for conversations when it comes to like dating, right?
Yeah.
When you put on a mask, you presented me this mask, this is the person I anticipate you to be. And that for a really long time, that's how the music industry worked, where they dressed you up, they made sure you looked a certain way, you did certain things, you pulled off this certain aesthetic.
because that's what was not only marketable at the time to what they knew, but also like that's how they kept you. Like you're going to consistently give this image, give this look, and if we want to go ahead and play it up or adjust it because you're getting older, we're going to do that. But we're going to stay in this box because that's what we've given you. We've given you this title. We've taken you this way. So when it comes to artists now, which I actually personally love, and I've always said, it's like they're still humans. Like they're still people. And like at the end of the day, like everything that I do now is not going to be the same thing that I'm going to do a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, 10 years later. You know what I mean? So like even with like Kanye, there was some projects I didn't really care for. I did not like Yeezy or Yeezus, whatever that one was.
Yeezus is a grower, not a shower. You know. It's a grower, not a shower.
But at the same time, like this man took us to graduation, 808s and Heartbreak. We were late for registration. Okay, we were college dropouts. We went through all these different iterations of what he was going through in his experiences and his like current life. Yeah. That we were able to kind of grow with him, and he always presented that to us, and that's why we were able to kind of take that journey with him. And I think that's what people are now starting to notice. I can't say for all artists because there are some artists that still stay in that box that was given to them and presented to them when they first signed when they first signed to a label. But if you do consider people like the Megan Thee Stallions of the world, or the Rico Nasties of the world, or like the Tierra Wax of the world, who are giving us their like, this is how I am, this is what I'm gonna be, and then you can take it and come with me, or you can keep it pushing. Like, and I think that's where the transition is coming into things. Like, I'm gonna accept you as the person you are growing into, and either I'm gonna like it or I'm not, and I'm gonna keep it pushing, or I won't. But I'm gonna accept you because I know there's something there that's bigger than, like, your talent is bigger than whatever we're trying to present to these people. And you can also tell when people are just stars. Like, Cardi is just, she's a character. Like, she's a performer. She's not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily say she had the craziest bars, and, you know, beyond me, anybody gang listeners, but like, you know, I would say she's not my favorite rapper, but she's good enough for me to listen to. But also just like her personality, and then social media, which is a whole nother thing, really gives you a big difference on how you have an outlook on people. And that's also what comes into those who are getting focused on that don't really have the talent, but they just have the follow. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, oh, I have a million such odd followers. And I want to dabble into it. And since I made this one really like catchy song that's like popping off on TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and just ride with it and run with it. And that's just how it's going to work. But ultimately, I think with music, you can't be biased. Like, you just have to look for those people. And a real quick jump to what you said earlier. Another thing that I like to do is follow the production and the songwriters now. Which, I was going to say, so the girl who helped with like No Guidance, I think she helped with Be Careful of Me. She's like 21.
Oh, you talking about the song?
Yeah, like the songwriter for the.
Oh, was her name Naji? Amnesia?
She says it's pronounced like amnesia.
Amnesia.
No, amnesia. Like,
oh, her name is Amnesia.
I believe it's pronounced amnesia.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it's like amnesia, not like.
No, I think that's what I believe that's what she said to Megan Thee Stallion. Anyway, I watched way too many people's lives. But
no. But no, what did you think of that video?
What video?
No Guidance.
Okay, hear me out, right?
I'm hearing you.
I love Chris, which might be problematic at this point in my life. I love Drake, which also might be problematic in my life.
To some.
And I actually love I love this beginning I've been asking for since I was like 16. But I feel like the end was cute, but I feel like they could have done more. Also, I feel like people got real lazy on music videos because we don't have like TRL. And
it's not a place for music videos.
Yeah, so when you see it, like, some people put effort into it, and then I think they really just pulled up on a garage and told people to come through dressed in black or red, and was like, all right, Chris gonna do the dance thing, Drake gonna do the cool guy who really ain't cool thing, and then they gonna do this funny thing at the end, and that's just kind of how it happened. I didn't really care for the treatment.
Yeah.
But I did want it to obviously be some girl that they were interested in. I'm proud of their selection for the most part because I've seen the girls they usually choose. And I thought it was cool. I thought the end was funny.
The end was funny. I thought the video, I am not a avid Chris Brown fan. But I guess it's the man in me, the fact that I like keep up with news. Because everybody else always say stuff like, he a changed person, this, that, and the third. I was like, y'all ain't keeping up with the stories enough for me.
I don't know about all that.
It's like, I don't know about nigga being changed. He might not be doing certain flagrant things, but changed. He has possibly moved out the wife beater. He possibly threw away his wife beaters. But I can't say that the man has done all the work to do the damn thing, because even when it comes to him he still doesn't go to therapy, he still doesn't do all these things. He put out a whole little, they remember little special little documentary or something that he had did, and the whole time I was watching it, I was sitting there thinking like, bro, you need help. Like, you still need to go and like unpack some shit. Like, even sitting here hearing your mom's talking about part of your story. It's like, you really went through a lot in that situation. You are a child star. You were a child star, regardless if you were 16 or 12 or however old when you first started. You got into the business very fucking young, and you thought you were gonna, like, I think about I don't know if you've seen Aziz Ansari's comedy special.
He's not my favorite comedian, but I hear you.
No, I get it. I definitely became more of a fan of him after around Master of None or whatever, and that's what made me go back and listen to some of his work. And he went through that whole little situation with it's very strange, kind of like, I don't think they called it, like, I guess kind of like sexual misconduct. I don't think they called it assault, but like a sexual misconduct type of situation. And that literally made him go dark. He went under. Everybody who kind of consumed it, because came through a very strange, I don't think it was Jezebel, but some strange publication were the ones who kind of broke the story, who the person went through. And just described a very interesting thing. And so he went down and felt like, because he kind of got lumped into all the Me Too things. Like, oh, Aziz Ansari is one of the motherfuckers too. He just as bad, and this, that, and the third. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of smart people were saying like, okay, he ain't raped her. She's not even saying that that's what happened. And what she's describing is something that we need to talk about, because what his behavior was and what her choices were happen way more often than what people want to talk about. Like, yes, people, rape culture and all these different things are related to, but their experience, because it was literally like this kind of cat and mouse type of situation. Within her story, she admittedly said that she did sexual acts to him, but it was so many different moments where she was uncomfortable within the night, and he didn't he didn't accommodate those feelings. He didn't address those things. He kind of just found a way to kind of keep that energy going. You see what I'm saying? But I long story short story long, in this special that he had, he talked about how he ended it by saying, I almost thought I wasn't gonna be able to do this again. I almost thought that this very thing that I love to do, that I feel like I'm good at, I get paid to do, I may not ever do again. And he seemed very taken back by that. So seeing how the home that we know that Chris Brown came from, his background, how his quote unquote father was or was not, whatever, and his life and how he's reacted to his own fame and stardom. And even in that moment of how he reacted to that, it makes me have to really come at you in a certain way. Like, I'm not looking at you just on some he's still been working, he's still been putting out music, so I just gotta let that shit go. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna allow or enable him to continue doing any type of fuck shit, because that is still not progressing you as a person. He's still not getting better as a person if he's still handling things a certain way. So I'm going to still be like, this man is talented. I'm going to consume his music from afar. I'm going to do whatever. But I can't sit here and say I'm going to be all the way in the, you know what I'm saying, in the Chris Brown. Yeah, he in the sick and shut in list right along with Kanye right now. He just been in the sick and shut in list for me a little bit longer than Kanye. So it's like certain things for me that I would have to see to publicly be like, I really enjoy this man. I think he's a talent and whatever. And that's just me. Everybody, different strokes for different folks. And I never, come at people, because some people can just separate. Some people can just listen to the music and keep the shit pushing. Yeah. And I can do that with some things, not everything. And I'm all about people just choosing that. But I think the whole thing about videos is interesting. The fact that
wait, before you get into videos,
no, yeah, say what you're gonna say.
I will say before, because once you jump around too much,
no, I don't want you to lose your thought. I don't want you to lose your thought.
But when it comes down to like artists, people,
yes, people
choose to do art for a living. I think it's really difficult dealing with their personal lives because one, everybody's gonna have an opinion anyway. Like everybody has an opinion about everybody's stuff. Whether you're normal, whether you're famous, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, I have an opinion. Like somebody gonna have an opinion about something.
Hell yeah.
My thing is like going on the Aziz Ansari thing, kind of just taking it out of music really quick. I will say we always have to be super, super mindful of how things are going, simply because we really don't know what's all going on back there. You know what I mean? And so to an extent, I agree with you. I agree with you about the Chris Brown thing, but I also feel like when it comes to Mr. Ansari, I feel like at the end of the day, like you still have to be mindful of stuff like that because it could have went a different way.
It had.
A woman, just because she did do sexual acts to him before, doesn't mean that she may have wanted some of those sexual acts after. And you have to be mindful of that because there are people, even in relationships, who get taken advantage of or get hurt, and like, oh well, you were with him. Oh well, this, like, you did this before, so why couldn't you have? And it's like, that's just, it doesn't make it permissible. It doesn't make it excusable.
Hell no.
And when Chris Brown, I think I've definitely taken a step back. Like, as much as he was definitely my crush when I was 12 years old when he first came out.
He was on your screen tour poster. You circled him and everything.
I got the little, what was it? The little magazines that only gave you the posters of people. If he was in there, I got it. But
with the big clothes.
Yes, absolutely. Double XL, triple XL. But we still have to be mindful of how things went on. And I think there was a time in my life where I went dark on his music just because I was like, at the end of the day, I can't support that. And then when Rihanna and him came out about what really happened, like in full detail, I'm like, okay, I don't know whether to fuck with both of y'all or to step away from both of y'all. Y'all both, you're complicated.
Very.
I don't like it, but you're also people at the end of the day. So it's kind of like, nah. So it's a very, very thin line between how to deal with those two, especially in their situation. And I feel like I always felt horrible for Rihanna, but she also, anyway, we'll get into that later. I was about to say, but yeah, when it came to that video, I think that it was, I don't know, videos as of late, like there's a few that I actually care for, like Lizzo's video.
The Tempo? Tempo?
Yes. I thought it was cute. And then it had the Missy flair to it, which popped out. I
think she bring her own green screen, like she put it in her purse.
I do.
I think so.
But I was about to say, I think that was definitely like appropriate. People actually thought about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's just, people just get lazy after a while. And I don't know if it's because they're certain artists, but I'm tired of seeing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People usually, I feel like people really just make videos now with the purpose of being able to put something on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be able to meet that requirement of like, when you Google us, because YouTube is literally it's the second biggest, search engine. So it's like, if I'm on YouTube and I put multiple things on YouTube, like if I put out a lyric video as well as a actual visual and all that, it's only going to help me, spread my shit even more.
Right. And also you get money off of that.
You get money off of that, monetizing that. Because you own the shit, is Vivo and all that. You get your bread, and that's gonna count into your overall streaming as well, your streaming numbers. And the shit helps. Like, what's his name? With NBA YoungBoy. I think I remember seeing like a. You don't turn your nose up. I think he was I think he was like the highest streamed artist like a few months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I bring him up in Destiny. I always be on some like, have you heard his music? Have you heard his music? I'm like, look, I have not. I've heard only a few things, and he's just okay to me. But I will,
I'm not in love with him. I was about to say I do have like some real, like, well, I can't say some real Southern because you're Southern too.
Yeah.
But I have some other friends who are from Louisiana and they love him, and I'm over here like, why? But you whatever your sound is what you relate to, right? I'm like how I listen to E40's album. Like Chris Brown just dropped the album. I'm over here like, hello.
Yeah.
What you saying 40? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But I was about to say, videos, it doesn't take too much. I mean, I have my own opinions. I think I could write a better treatment than other people. But again, me and my opinions can only go so far.
And I think the placement, because just like with playlists, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a place people can go to know for a fact they're going to get a certain thing, a certain result. And I think that's what all the video shows back in the day, not only did they serve as, great space holders for some of these, channels for whatever their original content or whatever content that was not music.
Right.
But it also was just a cool thing for everybody to come around and like expect to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact you could have MTV Jams. You know what I'm saying? The fact you could have VH1 Soul where all it is that. Like it was I don't even remember. I feel like the only commercial was literally like the little dancing motherfucker before the VH1 Soul thing or just a random MTV Jams logo popping up. Like it was genuinely just nonstop dedicated. That. And people would just literally leave that on. And people kind of do that with YouTube. I've seen people do that with YouTube, like find a video playlist and just let it run. So that energy, that vibe, that want for that is around in a way. But not because I feel like if it was
chosen by the people as much as those.
Yeah, because they brought TRL back and who knows what happened with it. I don't know if it still exists or not, but they brought it back. It's gone.
I think it's because it was gone for too long. Like if they were to bring 106 and Park back, it may do something. But maybe. I feel like I was dedicated to recording. If I could not watch it, like I was like, Mom, you need to clear out General Hospital so I can record this 106 and see.
No, you are not overriding the stories. You can't be overriding the stories now. You can't be doing that. Debbie might come back alive. We can't be just missing Debbie getting woke up out of nowhere, and that was her twin sister that died.
The older episodes has to go. Like if you watched it has to go.
But you ain't gonna get those. They don't rerun those sometimes. Like you don't get reruns of soaps because they own every day.
But either way, I was going to say that I was super adamant about it because also it felt like you were a part of something. Like and we also had like the behind the scenes like episodes that would come on and things of that sort. So it kind of brought a sense of like
what was that show?
Like contribution to it. What?
Remember that show that was on BT? Was it All Access?
I think so.
It was like the making of the thing, and then they showed you the video at the end.
Yes, I think the last one I saw was Shorty Like Mine, Bow Wow and Chris Brown.
Well, that was I definitely got I'm trying to put my 40 water voice. I definitely got my pelvis gyrated on. You know what I'm saying? At a young age to that song for sure. That was the jam. You feel me? I feel like I was like middle school? Was that middle school?
I think we were. We
was
were
it middle school or high school?
It was like right at the tip top. It was like somewhere at the tip top of high school.
Something like that. Either way, I still got some dances off of. That was the jam. I remember all the songs I got love off of. Just like I'm never gonna forget Big Sean's ass freshman year ass hot as hell. Morris Brown Stadium.
I'm not about to do it with
hot as hell. House Party 5, which is they probably up to, I don't even know, they still do house party parties every year. But it was the House Party 5 joint. You remember them?
Yes, I do.
House Party 5. We up in there. That was the first day I met Mommy. Shout out to Mommy.
Oh, my girl.
Yeah, because she was walking with me. She was walking in front of me and Larry. We was like, oh, okay, hey, y'all going this way? Okay, cool. And waited in line with each other and everything and got up in that thing and sweated our ass off.
Bruh.
Got to that song and it was just love. I was already on another song and then and then
even then, Yes, I was supposed to say, even then, I think that was like the end of it. It felt like the end of an era, kind of on that note. Like, all of a sudden, videos just weren't popular.
Yes.
Like, people just didn't watch them as much. And then, obviously, YouTube had the super surgence. So then, of course, you had, like, the Vivos. You had to make sure it was verified, because also people put the fake videos up.
Yes.
That's how they started making
They cracked down on that shit good now.
Yes, I was about to say, but being able to, I was about to say, I think at the end of the day, when it comes to videos, now I think they use it mainly to remind you of the song. Like, let me remind you of that song you were playing that you were really feeling like 2-3 months ago. Let me bring it back. Because No Guidance came out when I was in Chicago in May.
Word.
And now the video just came out. It's August. Like,
after the album.
Part is,
what's her name? SZA. She was putting out videos at least 8 months after the fact for songs off the album.
Right. It's like it's literally like, hey, let me remind you of this song because you liked it, and then you're gonna go back and listen to the album because you liked it. Like,
Weekend came out months after the album came out.
First off, I'm still mad at that video.
It was you can't go to I think I felt like that's what it was gonna happen. I feel like people assumed that it was gonna look like Cranes in the Sky, but
I didn't want it to be Cranes in the Sky.
I think they thought it was gonna look like Cranes in the Sky, but feel like, I don't know, like some juicy ass Insecure scene or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they thought it was gonna be this like interesting storyline like Insecure, right? But gonna look like Cranes in the Sky, like just whimsical and got that little fade filter.
I like the ambiguity of videos instead of it being as apparent as the lyrics.
Yeah,
but it was just too left. Like, it was just
it was too left. It was too left.
Why are you acting like a ballerina in the middle of the garage? And why won't you move so I can park my car? Like,
like what's up with these garages? People be liking garage. I will say on a No Guidance video that I did think the little garage club thing was kind of cool. I'm like, somebody might need to do this. Like, make a nice parking complex into, a
club. It made me think of like early Fast and the Furious.
Yes, that's a vibe.
That's what it made me think of. It made me think of like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
like maybe that's where they got it from. Maybe they were like, think early 2000s Fast and the Furious. Mm-hmm. Everybody getting ready with they,
Yeah.
But I was about to say, I thought it was cool. I think Lizzo kept my attention a little more. Also, like, I was about to say, another thing that's gotten really big is live videos. Like, live performance videos.
Okay, yeah.
I was about to say, so I think that's also another thing that's played into, like, if you don't come out with a music video, a fire live video will work too. So if you're on, like, a TV like a late night TV show, for instance, or something like that, or if you do South by Southwest at the Faded Ford, like, those can also work in people's favor. For instance, I was about to say, kind of jumping back on how people complain about music nowadays, YBN Cordae, have you listened to his project?
I have not.
First off and foremost, I do not really care for the YBN group, okay?
Okay.
That's just me. I listened to YBN the Mirror a little bit just because, like, it sounds a lot like Out Here, a lot of Bay Area-ish exuding out of his music. Yeah. I don't care for Almighty, but Cordae.
I don't even know how he sound talking.
He here to. I think he listen to his project because it don't even sound like he's from this generation. Like,
for real?
I'm being for real. Like, and that's, maybe I'm gassing him up. Maybe.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But I really loved his project, and he did a live performance with Anderson .Paak. And I listened to his music before this, and I think it was a song called Kung Fu. I actually put it on one of my playlists. If you want to check it out.
That's where I heard him first.
Check me out.
That is a good song. He was rapping.
He was going in. So take that, and then take all the deliciousness of, like, if you put, I want to make sure I put the right, like, seasonings together to let you, like, feel what I felt when I listened to it.
Okay, yeah, season it up. Paint a picture.
So, like, if you took Anderson .Paak, right?
Anderson .Paak.
Bloop, you dropped him up in there. And I mean, like, how he sounds, like, acoustically.
Yes.
Like, his actual, how he sounds.
Yes.
Go ahead and take him, drop him in there. Go ahead and take a little bit of the current music. Who's a popular young rapper that I actually like? Not many.
I'll come back to you on that one. But if you literally like take a little bit of jazziness, a little bit of R&B, and then you just put a lot of like early 2000s rap into a project, it tastes like I went to go hang out with family, and I hung out with the old folks, I hung out with the young folks, you know, like I was wilding out a little bit, we had a little party after, like it was really just a good project. And I think a lot of people I don't know how many people paid attention to it because it was Chance's like big day.
Yeah,
but that was the project that's been holding my attention. Like I think I listened to it like 3 times today.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely listen to it tomorrow and everything, because I definitely I be getting distracted when I play music at work, but I'm gonna play music at work.
I mean, even if you play it like when you wake up and you just like on your way, I think it'll be. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see, because it's a lot of shit just to get through. Honestly, it's a lot of shit to get through.
And his skits and transitions were really good too. Like,
I believe that. I like what I hear from him. The little that I have heard from young YBN Corday.
Yeah.
Yes. Where he from?
And where you hear it at, Rodney?
From you. From your playlist. I feel like I can't remember which playlist it was, but it was definitely from your playlist.
Look, check me out, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely from that was when I was still on Apple Music. But yeah, I'm supporting black businesses over here. Oh. Anywho, so last question.
Yes.
And we can wrap it on up after this. So tell me what your listens lately, what you feel like are your sleepers, or it could be whatever you feel. You can answer the question in whatever. I don't even want to like steer your answer. I want you to just tell me, like, you just said his. It's a lot of shit that's came out, but it's like, give people, you know what I'm saying? Send people away with a little homework. Send them with some little actions, the action plan. You know what I'm saying?
Hear you, heard you. Okay.
Yeah. You know, the deep cuts.
Not the deep cuts. Okay, so I think I've already plugged a couple things, but The Lost Boy is YBN Corday's first project. I don't know if he considered it an album, but that's like my top of the top. Okay. I was about to say, if you go ahead and listen to my girl Chastity, again, Not My Time is the project. It's
Not cute. My Time.
Rex Life Raj. That's 2 X's. REXX Life Raj en route. It's a single, but it has 3 songs on there. Go ahead and listen to him. He's a Bay Area artist. He's pretty fire. I was about to say, if you want to listen to something a little bit out of your range, because I don't know how many people actually listen to him. If you want something a little more poppy, DeVito and Chris Brown actually came out with a song on Friday.
DeVito Afrobeat, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He just came out with a song on Friday called Blow My Mind with Chris Brown. It's actually really good. As far as like people you may not have heard of, let me go ahead and run through it real quick because I want to make sure I get y'all on point. I think those are my top listens. I will say that that's what I've really been listening to as of late. And then aside from that, Crimes by Gallant. He's pretty, I think people know who he is, but if you don't, if you listen to like Division and things of that sort, I think you would like him.
Okay.
I was about to say, I guess those are my cuts as of late. I don't really have too much. And then of course, Blood Orange. Blood Orange's Angel's Pulse. There we go. And Big Crit, because a lot of people, they listen to him, but they don't listen to my boy. Crit is here, is the project. He came out with it, I think, like 2 weeks ago.
It's a smooth project too.
It's a solid project, and
it's a smooth project.
Of those. He's one of those like you pay attention but you don't pay attention cult following types.
Yes.
Go ahead and do that to yourself. Go ahead and help yourself out. He definitely
is. Are you? I guess it's not my last question. Are you the type that like? Because I feel like I know how you're gonna answer this.
Okay.
That's looking out or like waiting on a specific artist.
You know what? No.
Like, I knew it. I knew you was gonna say that. Cause I feel like that's such a thing that I feel like I see all the time. There's always like a top 5 and most anticipated albums, or people anticipating this and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, I think I've grown to be more like you. I feel like before I was like that, but I feel like I've grown to be to not only to kind of always remind myself that not only these people are people, like these artists are people.
Yeah.
They have lives. Shout out to my boy Kendrick Lamar, who's about to have a young. Well, I think he just had the baby, right? The baby's here.
Yeah, I think he had a baby girl.
Yeah, so he just had a child, which is like, I think is beautiful. I think his artistry and his level, like when you just put out good work, people don't rush you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's rushing B to put out another album. She's honestly been producing like pretty damn frequently, even when she does space in between 2 years or whatever, it still feels like her presence is never gone. Same way when it comes to Kendrick too. I feel like everyone else still can speak his name. Everyone else can bring him up, and he can still give you a sprinkle of feature here, pop up on this, pop up on that, and keep it pushing. Because he popped up on he had vocals on
Beyonce,
the Dreamville joint, on the Beyonce joint, on Schoolboy Q's. He had some like ad libs on Schoolboy Q's joint. So he definitely sprinkles. He sprinkled, man. Sprinkle me, man. You know what I'm saying? Back to my E40. We out to the Bay, all to the town. You know what I'm saying? Really from the town all the way to Vallejo. You know, hey, you don't like my you don't even. I'm working on it. I'm working on my. I'm trying to get it together so that way I can lie when I get to Oakland and be like, I'm from East Oakland, and I was.
'Cause I'm not gonna help you.
Look, I went to East Oakland. I used to ride the BART every day to go to OSA. OSA is where I went to school. Anyway, yeah,
I'm not playing with you today.
I played the flute. Anywho, my little send it on message to everyone. This is how I like to end my shows now. So when you hear this, like, it's gonna be edited in. The instrumental for "Send It On" is gonna be on the background, just to kind of like smooth it out and just get everybody, just send people out. My "Send It On" message, which is my kind of call of action segment, which is, I quote the great and one of my all-time faves, that being D'Angelo, no last name. And what D'Angelo said when his Black Messiah album, which is a instant classic, when that came out, people were coming at him like, real music is back, real music is here, this is just brilliant, this is whatever, a legend is just giving us a gift, this, that, and third. He shut all that shit down by saying, real music has always been here. Y'all just ain't looking for it. Y'all ain't trying, you know? And I think that's really what it is. So if you're cool with the commercial things, you're cool with that, be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Be good with that. You cannot complain about what's being heard. You cannot trip about what's being heard, because you have the choice not to listen to it. And you have even more of a choice now than before. Before, we had to go through we had to find out about new music by, keeping up with blogs, keeping up with whatever music video show or whatever it is, to understand what's the new things coming out. But that still wouldn't even keep us on the up and up on who's next. So it's like, do your own work, do as much work as you feel like you want to do, because it's music. It should be something that you do to relax yourself. It should be something that puts you in a certain mood, turn you up, turn you down. Well, all it is. What you about to say?
I was about to say, and if you need a little help, go ahead and follow me, Jenese. I always be dropping my playlist. Okay,
yes.
If you want somebody to guide you through.
Yes. Follow Jenese at Just Jenese. I believe that's on IG and on everything. Just Jenese. That's JUST JENESE. You know what I'm saying? Not Janice. Don't get it right. Don't get it twisted. But no, that's my send it on. Y'all get to it. Y'all listen to that music. Definitely take these suggestions. Definitely listen to some great things to put you in all the vibes and things. If you don't know, now you know. You can listen to the Simply King podcast everywhere podcasts are available. I'm on iHeartRadio now too, so you already can listen to it through your car. You can already do all those different things already, but you can also, if you just so happen to listen to the iHeartRadio app or whatever that is, go ahead and play my shit too. Go ahead and subscribe on that thing as well. But you can listen to me everywhere, from Apple Podcasts to Google Play and Spotify as well. Add me, add a review, let it be known that you share and you enjoyed what you heard. And if you didn't like it, let me know you didn't like it. I like all that shit. I appreciate the listen. Yes, I am Rodney Perry. This is the Soulfully Conscious Podcast with humans simply being humans. This is Simply King. Peace.
I would like to liquor. Let's blow out all the candles. Yeah, we could get romantic as long as I'm with you, babe. Let's throw a party, just us in my apartment. Yeah, back to where it started. As long as I'm